All of a sudden, words and slurs matter to Myron now.
You're account for that. Mortad, all these other ass that if they had told me this shit in person, I'd fucking punch them.
After years of attacking and mocking black people for being offended by racism, and racist slurs,
The black community is completely backwards, and then someone like a Joe Budden's ass will say, oh, you a culture vulture, but you want to blame the white person for everything.
telling us words don't matter, get over it, stop living in the past, don't have a victim mentality. The second his own white supremacist audience that he's cultivated turned on him and started calling him slurs, he crashed out, chimped out, and started threatening the internet. Now all of a sudden, some words are disrespectful, hate speech, or slurs crossing the line.
Call me Mortad to my face, I'll knock you out.
But I'm Jude, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into
Talking
it.
about haram this, haram that. You're account for that. Mortad, all these other ass that if they had told me this in person, I'd fucking punch them.
He's crashing out at his own audience. The funniest thing about Myron, his whole career is built around hating black people, shitting on the black community, calling us thugs, sensitive victims who resort to violence. And he is here resorting to violence immediately, sending threats over the internet because he can't handle words being used against him. Are we really surprised that this closeted homosexual who accuses blacks of resorting to violence due to words is threatening to use violence because of words?
Call me Mortad to my face, I'll fucking knock you out. Extremely disrespectful shit that they would never say to me in person, ever. Because they know that it would be a warrant to knock them out right then and there.
All of a sudden, words and slurs are offensive and mean something when directed at Myron, right? It's the funniest hypocritical goofball ever. And Myron is the least intimidating person to ever walk the earth. Who would ever look at him and be scared? Who would ever see him in person and not say something to his face that they say online? The hate really came from Myron's own community because he was defending Chud the Builder so hard, getting defense attorneys on to try to make a case for him, everything. It was just OD. Whoever Chud the Builder's lawyer is needs to contact self-defense attorney expert Andrew immediately.
For those of you that don't know, I know some of you guys might not necessarily be on the internet like that, so I'll quickly summarize. Chud the Builder is a, pretty popular social media figure that's, risen in popularity, especially within the last 2 to 3 months. He's known for walking around, was it Nashville, if I'm not mistaken? Nashville.
Mostly Nashville, yep.
Nashville, live streaming, IRL streaming. He was on Kick, but he got banned from Kick. And what ends up happening is he'll talk with people, he'll use a certain racial slur on YouTube, I can't necessarily say it, whenever there's an altercation, and, he says, hey, well, I'm keeping free speech alive.
Listen to how he explained that. Chud the Builder does not go around having conversations with anybody. He goes into black communities, harasses black people, antagonizes black people, and then threatens them while calling them a racial slur. That's what he does. He is not a free speech advocate. He's damn near a terrorist to the black community.
Created lots of views, lots of clicks. It goes viral every time he's out there. People, it's created an enormous amount of backlash, but at the same time, it's created an enormous amount of support for him as well, because he's kind of dealing with more of an underlying culture, with an underlying problem in our culture in America with a certain demographic.
What I would do if I were Chud's defense attorneys, what I would say, listen, I just want you guys to know, if you're planning to attack my client on this issue of provocation, I'm going to bring in that other guy's entire criminal history, because you'll have opened the door to doing that. And that can prevent the prosecution from bringing up the provocation issue in the first place, because they don't want that other guy's criminal history coming into the record.
Wow, that's a bombshell. That's a bombshell.
Myron was doing all of this to defend outright racist, white supremacist Chud the Builder, while people like Nick Fuentes were calling him out.
And people now say he's a martyr, he's a martyr. Well, the black people were chimping out. Well, I don't know. If I were standing around and a black person was live streaming near me and they started saying things offensive to white people, yeah, maybe I would feel a certain type of way about that. Maybe, isn't that sort of our whole thing? And there's something ironic about that. You have a lot of people who are pro-white, and it's all about racial pride, and it's all about beating their chest. And it's all about saying, oh, I'm white. Don't try that stuff around me. Don't insult white people around me. So much racial pride. But then there's this double standard where it seems that white people want to go out in some cases and offend the sensibilities of other people. They feel emboldened, for example, to use harmful stereotypes about other people, say racial slurs about other people, be provocative towards other people, and that's fine. That's free speech. That's funny. Hey, man, can't you take a joke? Hey, man, it's just a word. And when black people get pissed off or take umbrage or they attack, oh, well, you're chimping out. But then when the roles are reversed, if somebody says something anti-white, if someone says something exclusionary to white people, it's those same white people that puff up their chest and say, how dare you? You would never say that about a minority.
And for all the shit He talks about views. This video got 22,000 views and he has 556K subs. So Myron's own community, white supremacist, racist, bigots, was calling him out for running cover for Chud, for being a hypocrite, for trying to find all this nuance in Chud's situation. Meanwhile, if it was a black person doing that, Myron will be calling them every racial slur under the sun, which really just goes back to the hypocrisy of Myron in the first place. Myron would go to the lowest point of the universe in an attempt to find some type of nuance to a situation and will still claim he's being objective. He's only trying to find nuance when that person is white or when he's trying to defend something that a racist does. If it's black or anybody of color, he intentionally avoids nuance and just goes with racial stereotypes. Myron has drifted so far out of touch with reality. He's been gone. I mean, nobody is agreeing with Myron under his own comments. He's turned other comments off in videos discussing Chud the Builder. So he didn't turn these off and he's getting flamed. It's crazy how a man can go around randomly yelling out slurs to a specific group of people, but it's our fault that we retaliate once it gets taken too far. Right. Why you turn off comments in a sneak video, Mr. Free Speech, maybe Sneako video? This comment will soon be deleted by Myron's hypocritical team. Doesn't matter what you all think or say, he's going down. They will build a solid case for premeditation. Of course they will. With all the footage that he has saying what he will do to black people or threatening black people, so many videos of him provoking and how he thinks. And even longtime supporters with all the stupid, racist he said and done are calling it quits right here with this situation. I've always supported Myron, but like this is where I draw the line, dude. He would not go this hard if it was a black guy doing what Chud did. Exactly. We would be thugs, crash outs, monkeys, low IQ, every white racist supremacist thing that Myron says against black people. He's intentionally not applying that same energy to Chud or Chud's behavior. He just has so much hatred for black people. I really can't stand it anymore. Why you stood it in the first place is crazy, but I digress. There's a reason that no political conservative commentators are giving their takes on this. There is no justification for this. And again, he's so hypocritical because when it's black people being offended by a word, it's we need to get over it or stop being victims. But when he's offended by a word, suddenly there's a justification for it. Myron Gaines instantly explains the cost of slurs against him, yet regarding black Americans, he overanalyzes self-defense. When FBA's fight back is drapetomania, if other ethnicities fight back, it's called liberation.
Call me Murtad to my face, I'll fuck you out. Are black people adults and full-fledged members of society?
Absolutely.
So if they're adults and full-fledged members of society, right, that have autonomy, well, that also comes with responsibility. If you punch somebody for saying a word just because you're black, that actually looks bad on the black race. Because I'll tell you this, if I went to a Jewish neighborhood and started throwing Roman salutes and saying the Jews, I pretty much won't have to worry about anything. They're not going to come up and punch me because they're exercising self-restraint because they're adults. Call me Murtad to my face, I'll knock you out.
Besides being hypocritical, what you said right there is a huge problem. Whenever any other race does something, whenever white people do something, when a white person robs a bank or there's a sex crime or there's a PDF ring, anything like that, it discusses white people as individuals. Whenever one black person does something, it generalizes all of us by the media, by races, by society as a whole. And that's just not the case because black people aren't a monolith. All of us aren't the same. All of us have different life experiences, different situations, different upbringings, different principles, everything. But for whatever reason, they generalize black people and nobody else.
So your argument is basically, hey, bro, just don't say because they don't have self-control and they're going to punch you in the face. That's basically what you're trying to say. Now, going back to what I was saying about the whole law thing, the term is not enough to be considered fighting words. It needs to be utilized with some other imminent threat of violence. Call me Murtad to my face, I'll knock you out.
Thankfully, the internet just gathered around to not only call Myron out or his hypocrisy, but just to laugh at him because he's a goofball. Turns out Myron thinks words actually are a justification for violence. We finally agree on something. Black people shouldn't get mad at being called an N-word. It's just a word. Also Myron, right?
Murtad, all these other ass that if they had told me this person, I'll punch them. Call me Murtad to my face, I'll knock you out.
This be the same motherfucker saying, you shouldn't be offended by the N-word. Why does that word make you want to use violence? That's because you guys are monkeys and all that shit. But look at him. Some slurs are said about him, and these people would never say that to my face because they know that's inviting them to violence. So what I'm gathering here is they want to be able to be racist and play in your face. But if the roles are reversed, it's okay for them to use violence. But in return, if you use violence as a black person, it tells about your race, it tells about your people. You guys are angry, violent, you're chimping out and all this other shit. And it's just like these people, they play in our face every day. They want to be able to be racist to us and we have to just sit and take it. But if the roles are reversed and someone's racist to them, just like Myron said, oh, it gives me the opportunity to knock them the Yeah, they would never play in my face.
Low tier guy the same way. He tells black people not to get offended by the N-word, but tells people he will beat them up if they call him Dale in person. Dale, that's his name? I've never met a black dude named Dale. Rules for thee, but not for me is part and parcel of these morons' behavior. Myron has a history of threatening people over words he doesn't like. This closet homo is a hypocrite. What makes it funnier is his white audience he caters to are throwing racial slurs at him. It's not the first time. The white people that he caters to, that he built his audience around sucking off, do not like him, do not accept him, and have told him to his face multiple times. Like this call right here where he was in a white-only space and they continuously put him in his place.
Read him nothing, HT. Tell that nigga to go find it himself.
Sir, listen, let's just stick with the Americans for now.
And then we got this
The naturalization
guy over
act.
here. Like, bro, or you're with the standard guy. Yo, you're British, right?
Bro,
You don't know your you don't know your you don't know your
hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, Myron, you're in a hostile
And I'm not
area,
scared
bro.
to have conversation with you guys. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
So
well,
you're gonna have to either
you're
kick me
not gonna
out
have a
or whatever.
you're not gonna have a conversation with him. That's what I'm trying to
Okay,
say.
well, this dude's a fat, so whatever. British guy. Like, dude, I know you're mad about
mate,
1776.
black men are like most
Hey, look.
likely to other black men, you
hey,
fucking
look,
black.
Kick this.
And then the two people of color that aren't black Americans, are white supremacists, always get together and talk about the black community. Like, talk about your own community. Sneeko, what's going on in the Philippines? Myron, what's going on in Sudan? Talk about your people and leave us the alone.
The black community is completely backwards, and then someone like a Joe Budden's ass will say, "Oh, you a culture vulture," right? And they'll like get mad at you criticizing this. Like they'll get mad at Vlad saying like, "Oh, you a culture vulture." Why? Because he exploits your stupidity for his own profit and gain. He's Jewish. What do you expect? They've been doing that shit on forever, and you're too dumb to realize it. But you want to blame the white person for everything, and white supremacy this, white supremacy that.
Neither one of these people know anybody in the black community or from the black community or actually around any black Americans. Neither one of them, but they have all these opinions like they're plugged in and know what's going on with us. They don't.
You know, get into a situation with like a Chud the Builder and like use that as like, "Oh, you calling us blah, blah, blah," and get pissed off at him because they ain't got nothing better to do. The reason why these jump out is because they got nothing to lose, bruh.
Looking, dressing, talking, acting like black Americans, but got all this hate for us. It is the weirdest fried thing in the world that both Myron and Sneeko do for white supremacists that don't like them either. It's hilarious to me to see Myron get rejected by his own community for defending Chud the Builder of all people. And they turn their racism towards him, calling him slurs that all of a sudden have meaning and he's willing to fight over and now threatening people about. It's hypocrisy at its finest, and it's just hilarious it's catching up to Myron now. But shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting it. Thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.